All right, good morning. Welcome back to another ride with me to the gym. Today we're going to talk about how you can't outwork a bad diet, and I'm going to spend a few minutes giving you my perspective on more context and more nuance, like dig into that a bit more than where I typically see that conversation happening. Before doing that, thanks for being here. And today, for those of you who are interested, we're on our way to the gym to do a full body workout. This is a flexible week for me. It's a week in between training programs. So this week I've been doing some of my own programming and having some fun with it. So back to regularly scheduled programming next week. All right, so let's talk about this whole you can't out-train a bad diet. If you've been in the fitness space for any period of time, at least I'd say 6 months, at some point you've heard that phrase, you can't outwork a bad diet, you can't out-train a bad diet. From my perspective, that primarily talks about really, let's say like the main thing being, if you are looking to improve your body composition, which for the general population, they're typically talking about, I want to be leaner, I want to appear more toned, which would mean a decreased amount of body fat than they have right now, and revealing more muscle, assuming that they've also been working on gaining muscle. So basically, the you can't out-train a bad diet, essentially they're translating that as, hey, you can put in as much work as you want inside the gym, lifting weights, doing cardio, all the things, but if you don't have your diet straight, whatever that may mean, if you're not consuming primarily whole foods, if you are not eating fruits and vegetables, if you are not controlling your calories, so if you're not actually eating in a calorie deficit, then no amount of training will overcome your lack of focus on your diet. That is primarily where that conversation operates. I want to dig a little bit deeper than that and also add for your consideration that you can't out-train a bad diet, because if you're not fueling yourself properly for the training that you're doing to get the most out of the training that you're doing, then that will lessen the effectiveness of the training that you're doing. It also will lessen the effectiveness of your sleep. It will lessen the effectiveness of the thing outside of sleep that really matters, which is how you function and how you operate in your day-to-day life. If you're putting substandard fuel into the tank the majority of the time, then that's going to be really, really tough and almost impossible for you to hit the goals that you have set for yourself in life, just in general, not just when it comes to athletic performance or body composition along those particular lines. So what I want to add to this conversation, whenever you are talking about this phrasing again of you can't out-train a bad diet, I want you to think about it beyond simply, hey, if you don't focus on your nutrition, then you won't see the results that you're looking for in your body. I want you to think about also, if the nutrition that your nutrition protocol right now doesn't include a majority of primarily whole foods that are very micronutrient rich, then fruits, vegetables, and things like that, getting in an adequate amount of protein, primarily from whole food sources, and then supplementing when necessary if you need to hit your goals, then keep in mind that the training that you're doing, regardless of how well it may be designed, how science-backed it is with the right number of sets and reps and assumed intensity and all that stuff, that training is going to reflect the amount of fuel that you've actually put in your body, or the quality of the fuel that you've put into your body. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. That's what I want to throw into this conversation. So while I do agree that it's going to be darn near impossible for you to hit your body composition goals if you're only focusing on training and not making any adjustments, any sacrifices to your diet. I also think that it needs to go even deeper than that, just a little bit, to also remind yourself that you can't outwork a bad diet, or you can't out-train piss poor nutrition, because the nutrition is the fuel that you're putting into your body to accommodate the training, give you the energy for the training, the recovery for your training that you need. All right, I'm going to go get in this lift. Have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you on the next one.